Craig's stuff is definitely not for kids. I curse a lot. Craig's stuff, Craig's stuff, Craig's got a lot of stuff, yeah! Craig's stuff, Craig's stuff, Craig's got a lot of stuff. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Craig's Stuff. My name is Craig, and this is some of my stuff. Today we're taking a look at the brand new Loyal Subjects Best Action Fullmetal Alchemists Ed and Al action figures. I want to say a big thanks to the Adventures in Collecting podcast for posting about these guys, that they were available at our local Walmart, and was able to pick them up. So I'm a huge Fullmetal Alchemist fan, as you may or may not know. I reviewed which I finally now have on display actually, the 6 scale versions, and they are finally out there. Very excited about those guys. Those are fucking awesome. But these guys just came out from this new Best Action line, and I'm a sucker for Fullmetal. They don't unfortunately make too much for them, so I'm kind of just like, whatever they make, an action figure, statues, whatever, as long as they're reasonably priced, I'm buying them. So anyway, let's take a look at the packaging. They're pretty much the same exact packaging for the entire line, different color variations, and obviously pictures on everything. So we're going to just take a look at Ed here. So you have the picture of Ed there on the side, picture here, displayed nicely with his accessories. The window kind of comes over the side. There's a picture of Ed, shows his accessories. And then for Alphonse, we get pretty much the same thing, you know, just a picture of Al there on the side, on the top, whatever, window, and information about Alphonse there on that side as well. So this Best Action line is brand new from Loyal Subjects. You may know Loyal Subjects for making those some of like those blind box figures I seen they used to have. Like I have a Krillin where he's kind of all jacked up, and it, you know, they're all the same size, you know, silly looking versions, and but they're now doing more regular action figures, not stylized. But my biggest problem right off the bat is the scale. Obviously, Ed and Al are the exact same height. We're going to take a look when we open the box, but that's the point of this line, is they're all supposed to be the same size. I think they're just more or less supposed to be like desk ornaments. You can have a whole bunch of them set up. Everything's the same. And they come from tons of different licenses. I mean, there's Fullmetal, there's Cowboy Bebop, they did Big Trouble in Little China, there's Napoleon Dynamite, so Naruto. So there's lots of different options from this line. Also, they're not too expensive. These were they're like $15 or $16, whatever it was. So you know, they're very inexpensive. This line, their big thing about it is that it boasts best action, BST action, whatever, best features, best articulation, best assortment, and we'll see about that. The assortment's really good, so I guess they got that right. I don't really know what best features means. I think that's kind of a broad word. But anyway, without further ado, I think it's time to pop these suckers open. Alright, so here are Ed and Al out of the packaging, and they both look pretty good. I mean, definitely not, they don't look the worst. I mean, Ed actually, I think looks pretty good. I think the face looks pretty solid. Al is kind of, I don't know. But I'm going to take a more in-depth look at them in a second. But before we take a look, we got to look at what they come with. And both figures include a sticker. At least I think this is a sticker. Yep, that is a sticker. We got 2 of those, so you get one with each figure. And it's weird because when they come in the box, it's not just the sticker isn't just like thrown in there. It's actually in a spot. It's kind of funny. You get like the whole spot for the sticker. Ed includes 2 open hands, and you obviously get 2 fists on him, so you're getting 4 hands total with Ed. Same with Al. You get 2 of his like karate chopping hands, and then 2 fists that come already on him, so you're getting 4 hands with Al. So each figure just comes with a set of extra hands, which is again, that's great. I mean, that's something that I feel like Marvel Legends should always have. It's just an extra set of hands. Anyway, I think now we need to take a more in-depth look at the figures. Alrighty, so here are Ed and Al, but we're going to just start. We're going to go one by one. So we're just going to start with Ed. So Al is going over here. And let's see. So Ed, honestly, I think he looks pretty good. I think that the face really looks like the character. I think they did a surprisingly good job. And no anime faces for some reason, at least by American companies, they tend to be a little rough. Actually, if you've seen the Naruto figures from this exact same line, the Naruto ones are pretty rough. But I think Ed actually looks pretty good. I wish we had alternate options, just because he's not always angry. Ed is a happy dude most of the time, despite the shit that happens to him in the show. But it's, you know, it's really good. And paint apps are surprisingly good. I mean, it's all the yellows are really clean on his hair. Jacket looks really good. It's this nice soft material, so it moves around. The inner jacket thing here, though, is hard plastic, so that isn't moving at all. But the rest of it looks really good. I mean, so for a $15 figure, you got quite a lot of detail in here. I mean, the belt buckle looks good. It's even painted. The chain of his for the pocket watch is painted. On the back, you can see the that logo there. You know, that looks really good. That's clean. Boots look really nice. Pants sculpted really well. Multiple colors on the boots. You're not just all flat black. You got the brown and then that darker like maroonish brown, and you got the little buckle there. Honestly, it's really not that bad. If the rest of the figures in this line looked like this, you know, they might be good. But I mean, if you, like I said, if you saw the Naruto ones, they're kind of rough. Anyways, let's take a look at his articulation, because this line boasts best articulation. So let's see. And with the head, you get, okay, not at all, no head motion at all, not even side to side. You just go around. It does spin around, but doesn't really get maybe a little tiny bit of tilt. No, not really, but it does go around. No up, no down. So we're already not best articulation, in my opinion. That loses it right off the bat. Arms go about a little less than 90 degrees up, but they do go all the way around. There's a nice butterfly joint in there. You have a single jointed arm, and then at the wrist it spins and it goes up and it goes down. Now what stinks about his left arm, or sorry, what stinks about his right arm is that this actually doesn't spin at all, so you're pretty much stuck in this exact same position. So if you move his hand around, you can't move the blade around, which that kind of sucks, because if you want to get him, you know, maybe to put this over his face or something like that, you can't move the blade at all. Also, it's not removable. So you're always stuck with the blade on at all times. Then we have at the torso, he doesn't have like a regular waist swivel, but he does spin a little bit higher than the waist. Does he have really an ab crunch? A tiny bit. No, not really. A little bit forward, I guess. A little bit more back, but he is hindered by his own cloak, so it does kind of go backwards. Legs go about that far forward, but they do spread a little bit off to the side, and then they go back as well. But they are, of course, hindered by the cape, or the cloak rather. But it is soft material, so you can push it a little bit out of the way. He has really, really solid splits. You have the upper thigh cut. You have double jointed knees that are actually really good. They can definitely, you can get him to kick his own butt there. Then at the ankles, you get up and you get down. You get up and down at the ankles, and you get pretty solid ankle pivot as well. So now for Alphonse. All right, so overall, I really like the colors. I think it's a nice shiny metal color. It looks really good. It's painted really well. Logo on his arm there, really clean. He's got these buckles there on his on his arms here. Those look good, painted really well. This is a soft material, not as soft as the cape though. It doesn't move too much, but it does move a little bit. A little bit of scuffs here on the knee section, but that's like it's actually okay for a character like this. I mean, it's not supposed to be super clean armor. The blacks are on his gloves and on the backs here all look really good. My biggest problem when it comes to this kind of stuff is his face. I feel it just does not look right. I don't think that was sculpted very well. His eyes look a little off. Everything it just looks weird. It's just kind of strange looking. Also, I think his proportions are off. I could be wrong, but he really seems very stumpy. So for articulation, head I don't think moves at all. There's a in fact, where the head connects is at the back end of the helmet. It just goes down and touches. This is actually completely open underneath. There's no like head that spins, and I can't get it to spin at all at the back end. So I don't think it does move at all on the head. Arms. That's as far as they go up. That's it. Barely at all, if any at all. What's weird is that there is a hinge there. It's probably hard to see, but there is a hinge right there that should allow some kind of motion. And you can see, actually, I got it to move a little bit there, so you can see the arm definitely is moved a little bit, but doesn't really do anything because obviously this is blocked here. I wish they did something else to allow some motion. That would have been nice, but the arms do go all the way around. You have a single jointed elbow that actually goes pretty far, especially for a single joint. For wrists, they go all the way around. They go up and they go down, but you don't really get much motion out of them at all, just a tiny bit. Then you have two sections for the waist. You have the upper waist for the ab crunch that goes about that far forward and doesn't really go back at all. He has the waist spin that will go all the way around, but it's nice because it's actually being kind of blocked by his loincloth here. Legs go about that far forward. I guess they might be able to go. You can kind of go all the way around, but you really kind of lose it at that point. So they do go up, and luckily this is soft material, like I said, so it kind of can move. Backwards, you're only going to get about that far. Splits, you're only going to get about that far. So there is an upper thigh, not truly upper thigh cut, but there is an upper thigh movement in there. So it does allow some twisting of the leg. And for the knees, you got a single joint on the knee, and it goes just that far back, not far at all. He also spins at the knee. Then at the ankles, you have up, you have down, and you have ankle pivot as well. Honestly, though, the articulation on this guy is really, really weak, and I would never, ever consider this to be called best articulation. It's a good thing, I guess it's not. It's BST articulation. So here are Ed and Al standing next to each other, and we can see here that Al stands about 5 inches tall, and Ed actually stands just a little over 5, maybe 5 1/4, 5 1/8 inches tall. So, and you can even see here, Ed looks like he's actually taller than Al, which, if these guys are supposed to be the same size for everything, maybe they should have just shrunk Ed a little bit or made Al a little bit taller. It's just because it's already weird that you know, because they're not supposed to be this size. It's just kind of strange. But if you're gonna do it anyway, maybe make Al just a tad taller, or at least exactly the same height. It's just kind of, it's just weird. It's off-putting. And then for more scaling, we have him here next to the SH Figgy Arts Goku, which actually, I think Ed scales pretty good. Ed's supposed to be short, and I think that is actually pretty accurate. And I think that's pretty good. So Ed actually, I think, scales with everybody else, at least in the Dragon Ball line. And then here they are next to the Marvel Legends Venomized Captain America. Obviously, Ed is really, really short there, so neither of them really scale well at all with him. So overall, I mean, I would not say I'm very happy with these figures at all. I think that they are very weak compared to other offerings and whatnot. I mean, you have to always include price point in what you're getting, and these are probably worth the price, especially Ed. I think Ed actually came out really good. Al, on the other hand, is eh. Again, I just wish that they were in scale. I think it would be better, because I mean, I'd be willing to pay a little bit more just to get Al in scale. I know that's not what they're going for with this line, but I don't know how many people I feel like are collecting. I mean, scale is so important to a lot of people, I think. I mean, maybe it's not to others. I don't know. To me, it's very important to have your figures in scale, at least the ones within the same world. You know, it doesn't kill me that the DC figures in the McFarlane line are 7-inch scale and the Marvel Legends are 6, so it's because I'm not gonna have Batman with Spider-Man. I don't in my displays, at least for me. Plus I mean, articulation. They boast best articulation, and they're full of shit. I mean, especially with Al, it's like it's just not good. Again, the figures are pretty cheap. And like I said, they only go for like $15. That's very reasonable. Maybe the future stuff that's coming out will be a little bit better. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, if you like this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Smash that like button. Smash it. Give it a big old smash. And check out my Instagram and Twitter. Both are Craig stuff. New videos are up every single Friday at noon. I will see you guys next time. Later.